I'm Jason with the All Things Open team. We're here with Adhithi. We're going to talk about front-end dev, AI, taking the consulting leap, and a bunch more. Thanks for being here in the We Live Open Source Studio. Please introduce yourself to the ATO community.
Hey everybody, I'm Adhithi Ravichandran. I'm a software consultant, author, and speaker based in Kansas City. And this is, I think, my 5th year at All Things Open. So I'm pretty excited to be here.
We love having you here. It's great. Well, let's jump right in. What's exciting about AI and front-end dev these days?
So front-end dev has become less exciting and AI has become more exciting. That's what the honest answer is. With AI, what I'm doing right now is just like everybody else, learning as much as I can and utilizing it in my everyday workflow. I remember from last year to this year, our everyday workflows have changed so much with AI. And I've started giving workshops to companies on how to use AI responsibly. So that's where I'm at, where a lot of companies are not sure how to use LLMs and give all of their data, like health or financial data and stuff like that. So that's where I'm kind of trying to tap in to see if, setting up MCP servers, local instances of the LLM, versus using OpenAI and things like that.
Wow.
So
that is kind of exciting.
Yes.
I want to get a little bit more specific. Do you have an example where AI has saved you time and with some of the front end work?
Every day, yeah. So with general mundane tasks and boilerplate code, AI definitely accelerates you 10x. Again, AI, I think if I had used it, if I was a newbie software engineer, it would have been dangerous because I wouldn't know where to, draw the line. Versus now I know clearly at least, okay, this one's not true, this doesn't exist, it's hallucinating. Versus, things like documentation, which used to take hours, doesn't take that much anymore. And even with the front-end space, for design, if you don't have a designer on board, engineers can now do the design with things like V0, at least the initial stack, just go back and forth, discuss with tools like V0 and come up with something pretty decent very quickly.
Got it.
So just prototyping and, removing boilerplate code, all of that gets generated very fast with AI. Yeah.
Cool. Love it. There's a lot of discussion about AI's role in development.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to replace developers one day?
I hope not. The way I like to see it is AI. I don't even like calling it AI. I like calling it just an LLM. That way our egos aren't hurt as much. It's not really that intelligent. So I think it's just a different mindset now. I feel like we're becoming true engineers versus, some of the things that we used to love to do, have the flair for code and how the aesthetics of code that we write, that's going away. And we just need to find our purpose elsewhere where we're using AI tools to generate the code, but we're still kind of orchestrating the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll create more jobs too, and some jobs will go away. But I don't think it would be everything run by AI, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to dive deeper. What are some of the existing technologies that are critical for AI to succeed?
Some existing technologies for AI to succeed. I think with AI, the things that we need to do is, of course, the space and the budget and pricing model. None of us know how much this really is going to cost. The one fear that I have is if we're all getting used to these tools, we're not using our critical thinking as much, and then 2 years later, it's going to be thousands of dollars to use the same tools versus $100. That's one thing to think about. So when engineers or other members in the engineering team use AI, I would be cautious about that, not to be over-reliant on it as well, so we don't lose our critical thinking aspects.
Sounds good. I'm going to change gears just a little bit. Do you have a new tool to you that you've been using to boost your productivity lately?
I think V0. I love V0 because I'm not a designer. I'm more a coder. So some of the times, if I were to design a page, it doesn't come out that well. But now I can put my thoughts through V0 and iterate with it. And it comes up with really quick prototypes, and then I go about developing that. So that's been great. I obviously love Claude, like every other engineer. I use Claude a lot, and Cursor. And sometimes I use AI just for thinking and just laying out the architecture and discuss with it, not necessarily even code. I also love it for generating end-to-end tests. So if people were hesitant in writing end-to-end testing, now is the time because AI is generating most of that. So yeah.
Thanks for that answer. You have quite an extensive background in consulting. I want to, for our listeners out there, anyone looking to make the leap, do you have any advice for them to go be a solopreneur?
Sure. I just gave a talk this morning about something around that. And I would say be your own advocate. The very fact that you're here at All Things Open is a good leap. You're able to connect with the community. A lot of this is you don't need permission to lead and you don't need permission to take that leap. So don't go about with the titles and things like that and rather have your own self-leadership. A good place to start would be connecting at conferences, meetups, and things like that. And obviously now with social media, that's a good place to, learn in public. That's a big movement. Stay connected with the community outside of just your job, Stay connected with more people, meet more people, and see what's going on in their world. Yeah.
Great stuff. All right. Are you ready for the Hot Fix Minute?
Yes.
Okay. It's been fun. Linux, Mac, or Windows?
Mac.
Books, movies, or podcasts?
Books.
Pizza, salad, or tacos?
Pizza.
Rock, country, or hip hop?
Country.
Star Wars, Star Trek, or stargazing?
Star Wars.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini?
Claude.
The future of AI is helper bots or a robot takeover?
Helper robots, hopefully. All right.
Adhithi,
We still need our jobs.
You survived the Hot Fix Minute. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you,
Appreciate
Jason.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.